So, ladies and gents, you may have seen this doing the rounds 2 days ago now. This is all about the Michael Keaton returning as Batman, which has since been debunked. Now, I was actually on a live stream when this sort of dropped, and I was like, what? Where's this come from? This is just bizarre. And I thought we'd explore it, really, because it came from one place, from what I can track it down anyway, and I think it comes from this place. So, it comes from this Lights Camera Pod, I believe was the first one to do it. I could be wrong, but it was the first one. When it was initially announced, that's the first one I could find. And it says confirmed. It's not confirmed, just as a heads up. Michael Keaton will be the main Batman within the DCEU, replacing Ben Affleck. And it said via Brooks Barnes and New York Times. And then it just went mental, so everyone did it. And this is the problem with not checking, because when this came up on this live stream, I was like, really? I was like, that's surprising. Surprising for a few reasons. Now, if they had said, look, we're going to get Michael Keaton back and he's going to play Batman Beyond Bruce Wayne, I'd be like, bravo. I'd be game for that. I would love that. I love Batman Beyond. I think having Michael Keaton as a sort of a weary, more cynical than normal Bruce Wayne in his later years, tutoring Terry McGinnis, like a weird clone thing of Bruce Wayne. I'll be all game. Sign me up for that. That sounds rad, right? That sounds super, super cool. But him playing actual Bruce Wayne proper? Nah. He's not going to be able to replace Ben Affleck. He won't be able to replace Robert Pattinson. He is too old. I hate to say it, but he is. He won't be around long enough to do it, and I don't mean he's going to die, but I mean he's not going to be signing up to various movies either. It's like super impractical. But loads of people just ran with it. So DC will reportedly have 2 different film sagas involving Batman running at the same time. That was the quote. And then they added their own thing. One with Robert Pattinson and one with Michael Keaton. And I'm like, really? This looks too out there, ladies and gents. It looked too out there. The 2 Batman going forward in the DC film universe will be Robert Pattinson and Michael Keaton. And everyone kept doing it. They kept quoting the same guy. And I was like, really? And it got everyone's hopes up as well. A lot of people doing really smart things, saying, can we have Batman Beyond and all this? And I was like, all right. Well, let's go and have a look at where this actually came from then. Okay. So Brooks Barnes. Okay. And his latest tweet was, been offline, moving apartments, and returned to see this Michael Keaton craziness. I was referring to the one film that Keaton has been announced as being in. Not a set of his own Batman films. If I had info on him beyond The Flash, I would have obviously put it in my article. Pretty big slam dunk of debunking right there from the source that they claim all of this came from. And this is the article as well. So this is the article. It's an old one, ladies and gents. It's not a new one. Like, at that point, it was nearly like a week old, right? It was basically a week old. And it was about Walter Hamada in the New York Times. And so, again, you ask yourself, like, what happened then between now and then as to why people went absolutely mental on it? No idea, ladies and gents. Literally no idea. Because you read all of this, and it all looks fairly fine. Like, it's all pretty normal. It's just a normal article, sort of an interview. They just discuss some bits and pieces about DC, obviously. Which Walter Hamada now has actually been signed on board for further tenure. He's until 2023 now. But he goes on to say, look, the most expensive DC movies up to 4 a year, starting in 2022, are designed to release in theatres, Mr. Hamada said. That's good. Good piece of information, right? So I scroll back up a bit. It shows that they're going to release 4 movies a year, or up to 4. They're going to be really expensive. They're going to be in theatres. But he does say, look, additional superhero films, 2 annually is the goal, perhaps focused on riskier characters like Batgirl and Static Shock. I actually like Static Shock. will arrive exclusively on HBO Max, the fledgling streaming service owned by Warner Media. That's a good piece of information. That would be a good article to run by. And then you go down here, it says if you thought that there was a glut of superheroes before, just wait. So again, starting to go into the information that this stuff is just not going to stop. It's going to just ramp up and up and up. Multiverse, parallel worlds, all these kind of things, right? And then he says this. So, to make all the storylines work, DC Films will introduce movie audiences to a comics concept known as the multiverse. Parallel worlds, where different versions of the same character exist simultaneously. Coming up, for instance, Warner Brothers will have 2 different film sagas involving Batman, played by 2 different actors, running at the same time. So there's that. Nothing else by that at all. That actually goes into the previous information that we knew anyway. So don't really understand what was going on there. In fact, actually, you could say that there's 3, because you've got Robert Pattinson, you've got Michael Keaton, and you've got Ben Affleck coming back for Zack Snyder's Snyderverse. So that was, said. And then it goes further, right? Now, again, because I perused this, and I was like, where's the information come from then? Because everyone kept going, yeah, it's from Brooks Barnes, New York Times. Absolutely, they're replacing Ben Affleck. And I'm like, God damn, that is very firm wording. They are replacing Ben Affleck. He's absolutely out, is he? So where is it then? Where is it? Talk about Wonder Woman, Shazam, okay. Suffice to say, Warner Brothers, which invented the big budget superhero movie in 1978 with Superman, has been under pressure to get this act together. That's fairly reasonable. Oh, we're at the end of the article now, are we? Right. Oh, okay, so where is it then? Disney has succeeded in part because its divisions collaborate in a way that siloed Warner Brothers never has. But that is changing. AT&T mandated greater cross-company synergy. Okay. So where is it then? Oh. Right. So it was quite literally this tiny little excerpt. Okay. We'll have 2 different Batman. That's insane, isn't it? So be careful where you get your news from. There's some big stories in here. With every movie that we're looking at now, we are thinking, what's the potential HBO Max spin-off? That's big news. So for every movie that they make, there's an HBO Max spin-off potentially lined up, which makes perfect sense because they've already indicated that with the Batman. The Batman's coming out with Robert Pattinson, and they're making a TV show. There you go. Does this mean that we're now going to get a Wonder Woman TV show? Themyscira maybe? Amazonians? Who knows? So there's bigger stories here. But everyone just went mental on this Michael Keaton business, which literally came from nowhere. God knows where it came from, but it's been completely debunked. And again, those going, oh no, definitely not. It's been debunked by the man himself that they were quoting. The man they quoted. Right? He has debunked it. He says no. So there you go. It sounds interesting what they're going to be doing, though, interconnecting TV shows with the movies and things like that. It does sound interesting. But not too much else to really go into, to be honest. I thought I'd just clarify, debunk it, go into it a little bit more. What do you think? Were you there when this news dropped? Did you peruse the internet and did you get wiped up in all of this stuff? Because it's just everywhere. And I don't believe these people have actually come out and debunked themselves either, which would be funny if they haven't. No, not yet. No, not yet. Let me have a look further. No. Oh, no, they did. They did an update. Whoops. Pretty big whoops there, mate, but alright. At least they clarified. At least they went back and corrected themselves. I'll give them that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, ladies and gents. Also, just for returning subscribers and those that tune in to my live streams, because of course I heard this news on a live stream, I will be now live streaming several times per week. So please do stay tuned for that. And if you don't have your notifications turned on, why? Turn them on. Head on over to my Twitter as well and make sure you turn those notifications on, because if you don't hear over here, on YouTube, of me going live. I do share them via Twitter, so head on over to @MrH Reviews. I'm over there and give me a follow. But anyway, thanks so much for watching there, guys. But Mr. H, take care.